Hello friends, good afternoon. Hello, welcome back to My Opinion Matters. How was your day? Alam natin that today, since this morning, maulan, pero it's okay. I do believe that all of you guys are okay. Are you okay? Yes. So we have to thank God because despite of everything, we are still healthy and alive. And don't forget that no matter how life difficult is, God loves you. Don't forget that. Okay? So last Saturday, it was a very fruitful discussion. And if you were able to watch the discussion last Saturday, I discussed the issue of POGO operation in the Philippines. By the way, if you are new in this channel, okay, the name of this channel is John Padillon, and every Saturday I'm doing a live streaming of the program My Opinion Matters. So just in case that you are new, you just click the subscribe and like button and also the notification bell. Every week I am doing actually educational videos, no, and those videos can be used for educational purposes or for your personal entertainment. And also, if you would like to join the discussion today, this afternoon, you can type in your suggestion, comments, your ideas, opinions, no, on our comment box. And later on, at the middle part of the discussion, I will read all your questions, suggestion, comments, and also inquiries. So going back to the discussion last Saturday, it was a very good discussion. I discussed about the POGO issue. And in that discussion last Saturday, all right, I enumerated all the issues, the current issues that are related to POGO operation in our country. And at the same time, the benefits that we are getting from the POGO operations here in our country. And the generalization of our discussion last Saturday, it centers and has given emphasis that gambling is really not good. That's why I am advocating, no, not to promote, no, not to explore and promote gambling, most especially to our children and learners. Hindi dapat silang nagsusugal, no? Because it is stated in our constitution, particularly in section in Article 14, no, that we have to really develop, no, the morality, the values and attitude of our student. That is why no to gambling. All right, so my friends, it's Saturday again, and today we have a very interesting and relevant topic that we're going to discuss. And I would like you to join me in discussing this topic. The topic for today is all about, yeah, how's your mental health? Okay, so I have invited a speaker who will be joining me in the discussion about mental health. But unfortunately, He texted me. He informed me that he will try to attend and to join the discussion. Anyway, so because of this pandemic, we know that there's a lot of issues, no? There's a lot of challenges that we are facing at present, and these challenges actually has given us different opportunities, whether it is positive or negative. Kasi it depends on how we're going to take the problem, no? But the problem is many Filipinos who are actually experiencing difficulties and different challenges in life. Okay, they normally experience what we call yung mental health, no? This is common nowadays, itong issue about mental health, no? Of course, in today's discussion, we are going to first um, analyze, no, the what is the present condition or the situation of mental health in our country. Yeah. And then another thing in our discussion for today, we're going to actually identify, no, what are the signs of if you are having problems with your mental health, if your mental health is no longer healthy. Yeah. And also, lastly, I'm going to give you several tips. These are the different coping styles or techniques, no, on how you will be able to cope up, to overcome, or to face these challenges, stressors, and difficulties in your life. Of course, the discussion for this afternoon will be on the sociological and psychological context, no? Even though that I am not a psychologist, no, the things that I'm going to share with you today are actually the products of my research, no, this past few weeks about this topic, the mental health. All right, friends, so let us begin. So first of all, okay, yeah. So what do we mean by mental health? So this is the first question that we need to answer. All right, so I have two meaning here about mental health. So the first one is when you say mental health, it deals about how a person thinks, feels, and acts when faced with life situation. Ayan. So this is the basic definition of mental health, no? It is related on how the way we think, okay, the way we feel, our action during the times that we are facing this life situation, the difficulties, challenges in life. So that is how we actually uh, tend to know if our mental health is actually okay. Kung nandiyan na sa harap mo yung problema and you were able to face those problems well, I think you have a very good state of mental health. But the problem is if you are facing a problems or difficulties, no trials in your life, and then you were not able to face those trials and problems very well, we can say that really your mental health is actually affected by that problem. So it is how we react to a particular problem, to a particular trials in our life that really affects the state of our mental health. Now, the second meaning is actually according to the definition from the mental health law that was passed last year, 2019. And according to that law, the mental health law, they defined mental health as the state of well-being in which the individual realizes one's own abilities and potentials, scope adequately with the normal stresses of life, display resilience in the face of extreme life events. So this is the definition that was actually taken from the RA 11036, also known as the Mental Health Act of 2019. So this is a very good definition coming from that law, no, about the mental health. Also, what is important here, no, is the word display resilience, the word resilience. So that is very interesting to know. So gaano ba tayo katatag na humaharap sa problema ng pandemya sa kasalukuyan? So that is one thing that we need to know, no, and to face, no. So how resilient are we? How strong are we in facing all the challenges, all the difficulties and problems that this pandemic has given to us? So that is a very substantial, a very important question. Kasi itong epekto ng pandemya na COVID-19, this is not actually happening only in the Philippines. This is actually the problem of all countries in the world, di ba? The economic effects and other aspects in human life are really affected by this pandemic. That is why yung mental health issue is a number one, a very relevant and important realities that people are actually facing, and we need to talk about it kasi ilan ba sa mga kasamahan natin sa bahay ngayon ang okay pa ang kanilang mental state, ang kanilang mental health. And also, if we're going to ask ourselves, are we still healthy? Do we still have a positive mental health condition, di ba? So, yan, that's why this is a very relevant topic that we should discuss, di ba? In the different forum, most especially dito sa My Opinion Matters. That's why I'm asking everyone to type in your comments if you have questions and suggestions and inquiries. Please type it down sa ating comment box, and later on, I will read all your comments and your suggestion plus inquiries. All right, so let us move on. Okay, so what are the present situation or realities of mental health in our country? So, ano ba talaga ang kondisyon, no, ng mental health sa ating bansa? So let us try to enumerate and analyze the condition. Now, my dear friends, all right, according to this research, okay, to this data, all right, that was released by the NSO. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was 2017. Between 17 to 20% of Filipino adults experience psychiatric disorders, while 10 to 15% of Filipino children aged 5 to 15 suffer from mental health problems. So this is very disturbing, no? Okay? So, as we can see, not only adults experience psychiatric disorder, okay? Also, children with the age 5 to 15 years old also suffer from mental health problems. Okay? So, hindi sila exempted, no? Hindi exempted ang mga kabataan, no? At we can see from this data na marami din kabataan na talagang nagsasuffer o nagkakaroon ng mental health issues. Okay? Now, another thing, mental health illnesses are the third most common form of morbidity for Filipinos. There are 88 cases of mental health problems were reported for every 100,000 Filipinos. All right. So, akala natin, no, na okay lang ang mental state ng mga Pilipino, pero hindi pala. Kasi it is a reality that the third most common form of disease among Filipinos is actually mental health. Okay? So, yan ang sinasabi dyan. Alright? Now, another thing is, according to this study, to PHIS-MH. So when you say PH, okay, when you say PHIS-MH, this is Philippine Health. Okay, I just forgot. Where is it? Ayon. All right. So that is Philippine Health Information System on Mental Health. So that is PHIS-MH. Okay. So according to PHIS-MH, is schizophrenia. Okay, schizophrenia is the top mental health in the Philippines. So, yeah. What is schizophrenia? I think that is ito yung getting out for, parang nagha-hallucination, diba? That is schizo. Parang you are getting out from what is real. Yeah. Getting out from the reality, that is schizophrenia. Kaya mostly ang mga manifestation ng mga schizophrenic is nakaka-experience yan ng mga hallucination. Kadalasan yan mga auditory hallucination, kung ano-ano mga naririnig, kung ano-ano mga nakikita. So that is the schizophrenia. And according to this data, ang schizophrenia is the top mental health in the Philippines. Ayan. So this is a study conducted by the PHIS-MH, no? And aside from schizophrenia, other mental disorders from the list actually are depression, okay, anxiety disorder, okay, acute and transient disorder, and stimulant-related disorder. Okay, so it's not only schizophrenia is the main problem. There are other mental issues that the Filipino people are actually experiencing. All right. Now, this data naman, according to the IASP, okay, 3,000 people die every day by suicide. By the year 2020, the estimated number of deaths will rise to 1.5 million per year. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi ng IA, no, ng IASP. Okay, na merong 3,000 na mga taong namamatay every day sa buong mundo to, ha. Okay, and they're estimating na in the year 2020 na aabot sa 1.5 million ang mga tao na mamamatay dahil lamang sa mental health issues. Okay. So I'm just wondering, no, kung ito ay mga pag-aaral na ginawa 2 to 3 years ago, okay, ngayon na nandito tayo sa 2020 and we experience this pandemic, okay, ano na kaya ang sitwasyon ngayon? Do you think that that people who are dying this year, aside from COVID-related causes, do you think that meron din kinalaman yan sa mga mental health issues? Kasi itong sinasabi ng IASP, no? That is their studies, and they have predicted that in 2020, 1.5 million per year ang mamamatay. Okay. So, now, according to the WHO, all right, yung World Health Organization, in 2012, 2,558 Filipinos committed suicide, and of the number, 2,009 were male. So this is a very interesting data coming from WHO, no? So I'm just wondering why male individuals are actually affected by this the tendency to commit suicide. So yan, talagang according to WHO yan, ang dami niyan. So in 2012 yan, 2,558 Filipinos committed suicide, and the majority, 2009 of that 2,558 were actually males. Okay? So, alam naman natin ang ano no, ang mga Pilipinos, 'di ba? Our society is actually patriarchal. So it's not normal for a male, 'di ba? It's not normal for a male individual to actually voice out, 'di ba? Or to share yung kanyang problema. Kasi in the sociological perspective, 'di ba, in the Philippines, in the Philippine context, no, talagang ano, nandiyan pa rin yung ano, yung image ng mga Pilipino as macho. Okay, so ano ba ibig sabihin ng macho? So pag when you say macho, no, very patriarchal ang dating, talagang you have the ability to face and to stand, no, to face and to stand and overcome difficulties in life. Pero according to this data taken from WHO 2009, na nag-suicide noong 2012 are actually males. Ayan. So, siguro it's about time na ang mga lalaki sa ating lipunan ay they should start sharing, no, their problems, no, and they should not solve it alone by themselves. Wala namang masama if you're going to ask help from other people. All right, so let us continue. Now, according to NSO, so the Philippines has the highest number of depressed people in Southeast Asia. O, yan nakalagay dyan, di ba? Alright. Records show a high number of cases among the youth. Okay? So, nakikita natin, no, na mukhang mga kabataan, alright, marami sa mga kabataan ang nagkakaroon ng mga problema sa mental health, no? And later on, we will see and try to find bakit nga ba maraming kabataan ang nagkakaroon ng mental issues. So yeah, that is something that we need to know. So later on, we will try to discuss the reason why these teenagers are very susceptible in relation to mental health issues. Okay. Now, so this is in Southeast Asia, we have the highest number of depressed people, no? And the records show most of these depressed people were actually teenagers, no, or youth, no, mga kabataan. Okay, next. So let's try to, all right, this one. Another study conducted by the Global Burden of Disease in 2015. What does it tell? Okay. Reported that 3.3 million Filipinos suffer from depressive disorders with suicide rates in 2.5 males and 1.7 females per 100,000. So kanina, no, if you can still remember, sinasabi sa isang data ng WHO na ang male is very actually prone sa suicide, no? But dito sa study ng Global Burden Disease ng 2015, makikita natin na actually 2.5 males, ang taas ng suicidal rates ng male as compared sa suicidal rates ng mga babae. And there are 3.3 million Filipinos, no, who are suffering from depressive disorders. Ayan. So that is according to the Global Burden of Disease in 2015. And we still have more data to check out. All right. Again, from WHO, all right, ano sinasabi dito? WHO in 2019 estimated that 264 million people suffer from depression. So, ito, sa buong mundo na ito. Okay, so nakikita natin na yung depression This is actually one of the examples of mental health issues, no, that people in the world are actually facing right now. So there are 264 million people suffer from this depression, no? And syempre, marami namang causes ng depression, no? Pwede kasi yung depression, pwede siyang cause ng broken marriages, di ba? Marami na de-depress, lalo na yung mga naghihiwalay o yung mga broken-hearted sa mga minamahal, no? Yung mga unsuccessful relationship. That can also be a cause of depression. Pwede naman kasing, pwede din siyang loss of loved ones. Yan. That can also be a cause of depression, no? Pag namatayan ka. Lalo na ngayong COVID-19, this time of pandemic, actually, di ba, many people are dying because of the virus, di ba? Kaya losing your loved one is not that easy. Talagang nandun yung yung feeling of grief, di ba? Sobrang lungkot yan. And the question and the issue there is if you were not able to manage that sadness, that grief, that is very alarming, no? Pwede siyang extreme sadness. Okay? Pwede kasing extreme sadness niya, naging cause kasi pagkawala ng trabaho. So that can give you depression, yung pagkawala ng trabaho. And that is actually prevalent nowadays because of this pandemic. Okay? Minsan yung hopelessness, that can be a cause of depression, no? Actually, maraming tao kasi ngayon ang nangangamba, no? Kung ano ba ang mangyayari sa kinabukasan. Yan. Kasi parang lumalabas because of this pandemic, parang the way we live our lives parang day-to-day basis, and we are not certain and we are not sure of what will happen on the following day. Yan. Kaya may mga tao na nakakaisip na ng hopelessness, di ba? Lalo na yung mga poor families, no? Yung mga poor families na hindi nabibigyan ng ayuda, di ba, ng local governments. There are these poor families who were not able to receive subsidies coming from the government. Ayan. So, nakakaramdam din yan ng hopelessness, no? At syempre, yung parang, yung another issue is yung helplessness natin. Sino ba yung matatakbuhan natin, no? Sino ba yung matutulong sa atin sa panahon ng pandemyang ito? And we know the fact na lahat ng tao are actually affected by this pandemic. Kaya, kanino ka pa, no? Kanino ka pa tatakbo? So, yan yung sense of helplessness. So, may mga tao na na nakaka-feel na sila ng sense of helplessness. Para bang they feel that wala na silang matatakbuhan. Kaya ayan yung mga bagay na na these are realities, no? These are real talk. These are realities in life that most of people are actually experiencing right now this time of pandemic. Okay. That's why let us continue. All right. So this one, okay. So according to this data, 4 of the most common mental illness that Filipinos are facing are actually schizophrenia. Ayan. So ito yung nag-hallucination or yung taking parang detaching herself or himself from the realities of life. So that is schizophrenia. Okay? And then you have the substance abuse. O yan. So yung mga nagiging drug addict, no? O kaya yung mga nagtitake ng mga ng pampakalmang gamot. Ayan, substance abuse. And then you have the post-traumatic stress disorder. So this is common actually during the time of after the eruption of the Mount Pinatubo. Ayan. After the eruption of actually yung post-traumatic nangyayari after the calamities mostly. No? Yan, post-traumatic stress disorder. So, after a particular disaster, di ba? The effect of that disaster to the socio-economic life of a person. So yun yung problema. How can that person manage to recover, di ba, from that disaster? Syempre, nawala yung property niyan o kaya namatayan, di ba? Lalo na yung Typhoon Yolanda, no? Kung naaalala nyo, nung 2013, di ba? Almost 800,000 na taong naapektuhan yan, no, sa Visayas. And of course, nakita natin napakataas ng post-traumatic stress disorder ng mga taong yun sa Visayas, sa Visayan region, no, or Visayas region. That's why yan yung nagdudulot ng post-traumatic stress disorder. And also the last one is the depression. Of course, depression, this is sabi nga common. This is one of the common mental health issues. Actually, depression, this is actually a reality. Okay? And from the data that we were able to see a while ago, na ang depression ay hindi lamang sa mga matatanda, no? Marami na ngayon sa mga kabataan ang actually experiencing depression. Okay? Nakaka-experience sila ng depression ngayon sa kanilang buhay. And the question is, how can we help those people? Yeah. Of course, how would we know what are the manifestation or signs of having mental health issues or disorder? Okay, ano ba yung mga signs na dapat natin makita o tignan kung tayo ay hindi na okay ang ating mental state, no? Ayan. So first is what we call the change in mood. Ayan. So sino ba sa family nyo ang merong mood swing? Okay, pag sinabi natin mood swing, yung papalit-palit ang kanyang mood. Okay, minsan masaya, tapos all of the sudden magiging masungit na lang. Okay, irritated, di ba? So, ayan. So that is actually yung changes in mood or mood swing. That is actually a sign of what we call mental health issues, no? Kumbaga unstable na yung kanyang mental health, yan, changes in moods. Pero alam ko, 'di ba, in the when we talk about reproductive health, 'di ba, sa mga babae, minsan 'di ba pag ang mga babae may period sila, minsan nagkakaroon sila ng mood swing. So iba naman 'yon. And also those women who are actually in the period of their what we call yung ano na sila, mga senior, di ba, yung mga senior citizens na mga kababaihan, okay, na nagkakaroon din sila ng mood swing, no? Dahil sa nagkakaroon ng parang hormonal imbalance sa kanilang katawan, kasi syempre as you grow older, di ba, parang sa mga babae, ayan yung time na hindi na sila manganganak, yung mga senior citizens. So nagkakaroon na talaga sila ng mga imbalances sa kanilang hormones. So it can also lead to changes in mood. So ibang usapan yun. But this time, kung di ba, you are in the right age, di ba, you are young adults or you're adults, di ka pa naman senior, pero kung ikaw palaging yung changes in moods mo, no, frequently and rampant na nangyayari sa iyan, so you have to really consult now mental health expert or psychiatrist para matulungan ka, no, sa problema yan. So that is one actually manifestation. Another is the erratic thinking. So what is erratic thinking? So yan, yung mga irrational thinking. Kung wala na sa wisyo, you cannot even understand why that person is thinking that way. Diba? So that is erratic thinking. So that is actually another signs of having mental health issues, diba? Unstable mental health na yan, erratic thinking. So kaya nga, ang ano natin din, we have to relax lang, no? We have to relax. Okay? Ang problema kasi nandyan lang yan, eh. But the problem is, how will you face that problem? Okay? Lahat naman ng problema may solution yan. So hindi mo kailangan magmadali. Diba? So may mga tao kasi nagmamadali. At yung mga tao nagmamadali na yan, ayan, nagkakaroon sila ng minsan erratic thinking. Minsan, you are already thinking irrationally. di ba? Hindi mo na ma-spelling, you cannot really comprehend yung kanyang pananaw sa buhay because that person is already suffering from what the mental illness. Another is the chronic anxiety. Ayan. So sobrang nangangamba, sobrang yan. When you say chronic anxiety, actually sobrang takot, di ba? That is sobrang takot. Oh, nanginginig sa takot. So that's chronic anxieties. Oh, and this chronic anxieties, it can lead to phobias, di ba? May kanya-kanya tayong mga kinakatakutan, di ba? Pero pag ikaw yung tao na nakakita ka ng ng insekto, let's say ng daga, tapos super nanginginig ka sa takot, hindi mo makontrol yung sarili mo, ayan, baka meron ka ng chronic anxiety. Another thing is yung tinatawag natin na worries. Sobrang yung worries ba, nangangamba, sobrang mangamba, di ba? Na halos matutulog na, paggising niya, iniisip pa rin niya kung anong gagawin niya. So talagang chronic anxiety na yan. And friends, when you have this, if you're experiencing chronic anxiety, it will actually affect your health, di ba? Ang una yan na apekto niya, isasakit yung mga muscles mo. Okay? And the worst is, nagkakaroon ka ng difficulties in breathing. So lahat pala yun ay related sa mga anxieties. Pag sobra ka ng problema, pag sobra ka nag-iisip, ha? So kayo ba, na-experience nyo ba yun na kapag may problema kayo, hindi kayo makatulog, di ba, sobra kayo nag-iisip, you tend to experience muscle pain, muscle cramps, tapos shortness in breathing, or shortness in your breath, di ba? Those are actually effects of these chronic anxieties, di ba? Kaya pag nagpa-check ka sa doktor, bibigyan ka ng mga muscle relaxant dyan, di ba? Yung mga gamot na pamparelax, pampakalma, ayan, ganyan. So that is chronic anxiety. Now, another thing is what we call exaggerated sense of self-worth. Yan. So may mga taong ganito. Now, how would you know? How would you know if a person is actually manifesting this kind of this mental health issues? So ito yung mga tao na na hindi mo naman sila tinatanong, pero sinasabi nila sa iyo kung gaano sila kayaman, ano yung mga narating nila sa buhay, but you are not asking them. But they keep on sharing, di ba? Yung insert yung parang pinagyayabang. All right? May mga taong ganyan na they're bragging actually of their achievements in life, how rich they are. So that is exaggerated sense of self-worth. For them, they cannot stop to brag themselves. Okay, another manifestation, may mga tao na talagang yung attention seekers. Okay lang sana kung pabida, pero yung sobrang pabida. Yan yung exaggerated sense of self-worth, 'di ba? And these people are actually what we call narcissistic people or persons, kasi nga they want to get all the attentions. Yun yung mga characteristic ng narcissistic, no? Yung kanilang attention seeker yan, di ba? So if you are that kind of person who's always asking for the attention of other people, nako, baka meron ka ng mental health issues, di ba? So, kung gusto mo palagi kang pinupuri, you are bragging about yourselves, di ba? You cannot help it, you cannot control, but you are bragging about your properties or what you just achieved in life, baka meron ka ng exaggerated sense of self-worth. Ayan. Alright, so okay lang magpakita, pero wag sobra-sobra. Alright. Now, another thing is the impulsive action. So, ito, no? So, when you say impulsive, no? Ito yung mga tao na na gumagawa agad ng action without thinking the consequence. They don't care about the consequence. Ayan. So, baka meron na silang impulsive actions, or worse, baka meron silang behavioral problem, di ba? So, those are according actually sa mga psychiatrists, sa mga expert, no? Sa mga psychologists, no? So, yan ang no? May mga tao yan na they don't care about the consequence, no, of a particular actions that they are doing. So meron niyang impulsive actions kasi the actions that they are doing in their life, parang they don't care because they fail to evaluate and to assess. Yan. Kaya yan yung mga impulsive, no? Parang in economics, may mga when you talk about economics, no? Merong mga kinds of consumers, di ba? Meron mga wise consumers. Kasi itong mga wise consumers, when they go to a particular stores or grocery stores, meron silang list. They know what to buy. Di ba? And they will not buy products that are not listed or not included in their list. Ganyan yung mga wise consumer. Pero meron naman tayong mga impulsive buyer. When you say impulsive buyer, they tend to buy things even if they don't need it. Yan. Kasi that person or that consumer was only influenced by a good commercial o kaya influenced by by other people. Yan. So mga impulsive buyers yan. Diba? Impulsive consumers. So yeah. Ngayon, in psychology, may mga tao din na impulsive action. So they don't care about the consequence. And they don't evaluate and assess the actions or the outcome of their actions. So marami. So if you are that type of person, you need to seek help from the psychologist kasi meron ka ng tinatawag natin na mental health issues. Alright? Yeah. So, syempre, okay, after knowing all the signs or the manifestations, how do we adapt, di ba? And how do we cope to these stressors or to these problems that we are facing right now? So, meron tayong meron tayong coping mechanism, di ba? Yeah. So what are the there are actually two kinds of adaptive coping techniques, no? So how do we adapt? How do we recover from this problem? So meron din tayo na na adaptive. When you say adaptive, this is the positive coping techniques. Okay? So puro positive yung ginagawa niyang actions in order to recover and to cope up with that particular problem. On the other hand, meron naman tayong maladaptive. So when you say maladaptive coping techniques, this is you are doing negative things, no, to just simply forget that particular problems. But actually, at the end of the day or the following day, nandun pa rin yung problema. Halimbawa, ito yung mga example ng maladaptive coping techniques, yung sugal, di ba? So, yung mga broken-hearted o kaya iniwan na asawa, so they tend to deviate yung attention nila in order to forget yung kanilang miseries in life. They tend to engage in negative actions or activities. So meron dyan nagiging drug addict, di ba? Nagkakaroon ng substance abuse. Yan. Doon nila binabali yung kanilang attention, di ba? Para to forget the misery, to forget the pain caused by their problems. So, meron ng mga tao na na nagsusugal. Later on, naging addicted na siya sa pagsusugal. Kasi doon siya sumasaya para lang pansamantala lang niyang makalimutan yung kaniyang problema. So, those are example of maladaptive coping techniques. But for this session, for this discussion, I will give you some of this adaptive or positive coping techniques. Kasi I know that many of us right now, many of you out there, friends, di ba? Without you accepting it and you are denying it, marami mga tao talaga ang meron na talaga mental health issues. Di ba? Kumbaga, their mental state is not sound. And they are still denying it. Pero wala namang diyan eh. There's no problem if you're going to admit and face, 'di ba, that you are having that mental health issues, okay? So what are the example of this adaptive? So number one, ayan, ito. So we have to talk to our parents or friends. So this will help us, diba? Kanina doon sa mga data that I have shown to you a while ago, mostly yung mga nagkakaroon ng mga suicide incident are male. Mataas ang suicidal rate para sa mga males as compared sa mga females, di ba? So it's about time if you are actually carrying extra baggage. Yan. Sabi nga nila. So, wala namang masama if you're going to share your problems, di ba? To your parents or friends. So, you have to open up. Oh, sabi nga nila, the more you open up yourselves to other people, the more you console and relax yourselves, di ba? Oh. And meron tayong mga may mga tao talaga na good listeners, di ba? Kasi actually if you're if you are sharing your problems to other people, di ba? Those people who are actually listening to that person opening up, okay? Dapat i-listen lang. Kasi yung pakikinig sa problema na yan, nagkakaroon niya ng magandang epekto dun sa nag-share ng problema. Sometimes, you don't need to give advice, di ba? Mas maganda if you are just going to listen to a person who's opening up everything or sharing everything about his or her life, di ba? Nagkakaroon siya ng therapeutic effect pag nakikinig ka lang. Kasi may mga problema sa buhay na hindi naman madaling solusyonan. Okay, halimbawa, pag namatayan ka, if you have lost your loved ones because of COVID-19, di ba? Parang ang hirap pagbigay ng advice sa isang tao na namatayan. Kaya mas maganda, mas makakabuti kung nakikinig ka na lang. If you will just listen to that person, to what that person is saying, makinig ka na lang, that you are helping that person a lot. Okay? Kaya it's not, kumbaga sa mga kalalakihan, it will not lessen your masculinity if you're going to share your problems to your parents and friends, di ba? Kailangan mo lang naman i-identify kung sino yung tao na pag-sharean mo ng problema, di ba? And I think it will not lessen your macho appearance or your masculinity. All right? Now, another is this can help us. Ayan, engage more in exercise and sports. Yes, quarantine ngayon. We are not allowed to go out from our homes, but then we can do exercise. All right? So, pwede ka sa YouTube, maghanap ka doon ng mga Zumba o kaya ng mga aerobics na mga shows. Tapos araw-araw sundan mo 'yon, di ba? And that's a good practice kasi the more na magsisikret, no, the more you move your body, di ba? And then the more you will perspire, it's a very good feeling, di ba? Na pag after yung perspiration mo, yung pagpapawis mo, di ba? Ang sarap ng kasi parang siya na-exercise yung mga muscles mo, pati yung mind mo, di ba? Kasi the more na gumagalaw ang katawan mo, the more na na-exercise din ang mga neurons mo diyan sa utak mo. Kaya exercise actually can also help this is one of the therapy na ginagawa sa mga mental health patients, no? Talagang araw-araw may exercise yan. They have time for exercise. And also yung sports, although it is limited kasi nga lockdown, di ba? You just need to select few examples of sports that you can do indoor, di ba? If not outdoor, you can do it inside your homes. Yes, but we have to really move and engage ourselves in exercise and sports because these things can really help us to keep our mental health in a good condition. Okay, another is the yoga and meditation. Ayan. So ito usok-usok to ngayon. And mostly sa mga artista, no, sa mga celebrities. Marami na tayong mga celebrities, they're onto it doing yoga and meditations, no. Kasi the more you practice yoga, the more you practice meditation, it lowers your blood pressure. Di ba? Kasi in meditation, you will just sit and then relax, close your eyes, and then you will just pay attention on the movement of your breathing. Di ba? Yan ang yoga eh. So, the more you you sat still, di ba? Ganyan yan eh. The more you sit still or sat still, and then the more you pay focus on the movement of the air that comes in and comes out from your body, ayan, the more it lowers down your faculties. Ayan. So yung unahin yan, yung blood pressure mo. Kasi marami ng mga studies na actually conducted that saying na talagang meditation and yoga, that's very good in our body. Kasi nga, doon sa isang study na nabasa ko, it lowers down, it relaxes your body, it relaxes your mind, and therefore, if your body, if your muscles, if your faculties, your mind, those are relaxed, it lowers down your blood pressures. And also, it relaxes your heart, the muscles of your heart. Kaya yan, nare-relax sila, di ba? And actually sa sociological perspective, sa India, di ba, itong yoga and meditation, this is actually popular sa Indian culture, di ba? So most of the people sa India, they do yoga. They do yoga exercise and then meditations, di ba? Chinese culture, meron din silang yoga and meditation, but it has a different form and practices as compared to the Indian culture. Okay? Another thing is the reading. Yan. So makakatulong to. Okay? So ngayong lockdown, 'di ba, itong nakaraan lockdown, 'di ba? I think if you are very fond of reading books, ayan. I'm sure marami na kayong mga books na basa. Okay? And reading actually can help stimulate your mind, di ba? Lalo na kapag yung binabasa mo is actually very interesting. Di ba? Dati, as I recall, when I was a teenager, I used to read books, di ba? Pero kasi doon dati inaarkila mo pa yung mga books eh. Yung books, eto mga small books na ito, di ba? Usong-uso noon, rerentahan namin sa classmate namin yun. Tapos the following after 2 days ibabalik mo, tapos magre-rent ka uli ng iba. Yun yung mga pocket books pala, yon. So we are very engaged when I was a teenager. I used to borrow books from my classmate. Then after 2 days, babalik ko, tapos manghiram uli ako. And mostly mga topics ng mga about love story. Yan yung mga pocket books. So it's a nice experience, no? Sa panahon ngayon, yun ang problema kasi yung ating population, there is now a decrease of people who are engaged in reading. So, this is one practice that we need to revive, yung pagbabasa. Kasi ngayon, because of this technology, because of this, smartphones are actually very popular among the youth. That's why they engage themselves more in using their smartphones. Okay? All right. Now, another is the cooking. So this is actually a good adaptive coping techniques, no? Yan, cooking. So hindi tayo lahat, not all of us are good in cooking. Pero if you are good in cooking, or if you are not, you have to try, di ba? Sometimes in a pragmatic sense, di ba? You will not appreciate something if you will not try it, di ba? So, you have to test kung yan ba ay talagang if that thing will work. Yeah, sa pragmatic sense yan. All right. So, you have to try to cook. Di ba? Kasi you will not learn how to cook unless you try it. Okay? So, that's cooking. Okay, and that is a good example to cope, no? To cope with our stress and problems in life. And then another coping techniques is you have to think positive, no? And you have to have sense of humor, and you have to be optimistic in life. So there are many people na very pessimistic. Parang they are hopeless na tomorrow will be a very good day. Ganyan. Mga pessimistic yan. Palaging nega. So may mga ganyan tao, palaging negative. But we have to look, sabi nga, we have to look for the silver lining. Okay, behind this pandemic, there are also good things, and we need to discover what are those positive and good things behind this pandemic. So we have to be optimistic. So yung changing our brain, changing our paradigm of thinking is not that good, no? O, diba? Namatayan ka na, nawalan ka pa ng trabaho, o, diba? So, how can you expect that person na magkaroon pa siya ng positive outlook sa buhay? That's very difficult. Kaya nga meron siyang tinatawag na healing process, di ba? Hindi agad-agad mo marirealize yan eh. It's not an overnight process. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na healing process, di ba? After the process, the period of grief, di ba? The period of sadness. So, slowly, you are actually entering the process of healing. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we have to be optimistic of the life ahead of us. Diba? We have to be optimistic. We have to be positive. Think positive that tomorrow will be a good day for all of you, for all of us, and for you. And also, we should not get rid of sense of humor. Diba? So, ito yung bagay na na sa panahon ng pandemic, na tatawa ka pa rin, tumawa ka pa rin. Kasi pag ikaw ay tumatawa, actually, it stimulates actually your neurons sa head mo. At the same time, nagbibigay sa iyo ng magandang pakaramdam kapag ikaw ay tumatawa. Kaya yung sense of humor, this is very important. Na hindi dapat nawawala ito sa mga tao. Kahit na nasa panahon tayo ng pandemic. Okay? Another good coping techniques or style is listen to music. This is very good. Ayan. So, pwede tayo makinig sa mga music. Diba? Depende ko anong type of music ang gusto natin pakinggan. Pero if you are broken-hearted, please, huwag ka na makinig sa mga sad music. Diba? So, depende. Yeah, kung malungkot ka, makinig ka ng mga music na inspiring. Pero hindi yung mga music na nakakalungkot pa rin. Kasi lalo ka rin malulungkot, lalo ka rin iiyak. Yan. So, you have to find an appropriate music for your feeling, for your mood that will match your feeling, the state of your emotions, diba? Yan. Okay. Another is the hobbies and recreation. So follow sabi nga nila, you have to follow your talents, diba? Follow your hearts, diba? Follow your heart. So kung ikaw yung magaling sumayaw, go. Pagbutihin mo yung pagsasayaw. If you are very good in doing painting, go. You engage yourself more in doing painting. So, we have to, this is one way, a very powerful and effective way to cope up with our problems, diba? To engage ourselves more on doing positive things. Etong pandemic na to, maraming there are a lot of different things that we were able to discover within us. Who would think na marunong ka palang magluto, 'di ba? Who would think na ikaw pala ay magaling na magaling gumawa ng video, o kaya ikaw pala ay magaling na mag-repair ng computer. So there's a lot of innate talents that we were able to discover because of this pandemic. Yan. Another is journal writing. Yan. So dati usong-uso sa amin ito yung mga slam books, di ba? Now in the journal writings, this is very this is actually being practiced by some. Di ba? Meron tayong mga diaries yan. O kaya iba naman nagba-blog, di ba? Nagba-blog sila. So that can also help you or help us coping with the stress that we are experiencing in life. Okay? Of course, you can also hang out with your friends. Pwede siyang virtually kasi bawal naman ngayon na lumabas, di ba? If it is not essential, hindi ka pwede lumabas ng bahay. Okay, so virtually you can actually call and meet your friends virtually via Zoom, Google Meet, or Messenger, or any other social media platforms. What is important here is you are getting in touch with your friends. With your kamustahan, that will also help you, di ba, to somehow lessen or ease the burdens that you are actually experiencing or carrying inside of you. So this is what I like. Yan. So most of the time, dati, before the pandemic, pag may talaga may problema ako, I used to go to the church. Yan. Pero because of this pandemic, di ba, nagsara yung mga simbahan, yan, it was talagang we cannot visit the church anymore. Pero we can actually attend online mass. Pero iba talaga pag if you are there inside the church attending personally, di ba, sa misa, rather than sitting in the couch tapos watching over the mass in the television. So iba talaga ang feelings pag nasa bahay ka. So yan yung praying, no? Di ba? So we have to develop a prayer life. Yeah, and actually that prayer is very powerful. Okay? So kahit na whatever difficulties or challenges that you are actually experiencing, if you will just pray to God, that talagang God will send you the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And of course, yung religious activities, because of this pandemic, it actually hampered us to attend religious activities. Pero sa online, sa virtual, there are actually religious activities. Di ba may mga morning prayers ang Quiapo in other churches. Meron silang mga night prayers, meron silang morning prayers. Those are religious activities wherein we can participate online. And of course, you can read the Bible. That's very important. Pag balungkot ka, di ba? If you are having heavy problems or difficulties that you're experiencing, buksan mo lang yung Bible, di ba? At yan ay magbibigay sa'yo ng inspiration para ikaw ay magkaroon ng lakas, that resilience and courage to face the problems that you're facing. Tulad nga sinabi ko kanina, wala namang problema actually na hindi nabibigyan ng solusyon. Okay? Of course, this is very important. If you cannot handle your problem and your stress, you have to what? You have to ask for a support. Ask for help. Yan ang mahalaga. You don't need to deny na kaya mo pa yan. Sometimes, di ba, you have to retreat. Okay? And you have to accept to yourself na talagang hindi mo na kaya na hawakan o i-shoulder yung problema. There's no issue, there's no problem with that. It does not lessen your it does not actually lessen your being or your humanity if you will console or ask for support or help from other people, di ba? So yan ay this is very important kasi may mga lalo na yung mga chronic stages ng mental health, they really need to see psychologists and ask for a support and help. Okay? Kaya yan. Support is very important. Kaya if you know that some of your friends are experiencing mental health issues, you have to help them. You have to support them. And this is common ngayon, actually, during this time of pandemic. Who knows one of our neighbors na kailangan na ng ating support, di ba? So, kasi we are just confined inside our home, di ba? So, there is a minimal instance for us, di ba, to say hello sa ating mga neighbor kasi most of the time nasa loob tayo ng bahay. Pero, without us knowing, baka isa sa mga kapitbahay natin, nagsasuffer na sa mental health illnesses or illness, di ba? That's why we have to create social support, di ba? Mahalaga yan na pag meron kang problema, meron kang matatakbuhan. Kaya talagang totoo na you cannot live alone in this world. Time will come, you will be needing the help of your friends or your neighbors, di ba? Kailangan yan. Those are our networks, di ba? And when you say networks, these are people that can actually help you in sociology. Mahalaga na you are having networks, no? Kailangan natin yan kasi you cannot live alone, di ba? Kasi we are learning from each other. We cannot say that we have the monopoly of the knowledge, no? Walang taong ganon. Kasi in reality, all of us, we need the help of other people in order for us to survive. Most especially during this time of pandemic. We have to learn as one, we have to live as one, and we have to heal as one. Okay? That's a very beautiful phrases. All right. Now, we are very lucky because meron na tayong batas tungkol sa mental health. Ayan. Ba? And nung binasa ko nga itong mental health law na to, yung RA 11036, sinasabi dito na it was a very good law, okay? Kasi sinasabi dito na yung healthcare o yung mental health care para sa mga Pilipino, it should be free. Okay? So, kung babasahin natin yung batas na yan, okay? So, it was stated there na yung mental health services, no, in the Philippines, it should be accessible and it should be free for all. So mababasa niyo yan dun sa section 2, declaration policy. State commits itself to promoting a well-being of people by ensuring that mental health is valued, promoted, and protected. Okay, so yun ang sinasabi niya dyan. Diba? And sinasabi pa rito, to continue, it should be what? Timely, affordable, high quality, and culturally appropriate mental health case is made available to public. So see? So nakikita natin that the mental health services should be available to the Filipinos. But what is the reality in our present time? Kulang tayo sa mga health expert, yung mga mental health expert, no? Actually, ilan lang ba yung mga facilities ng mental health sa ating bansa? Di ba ang popular niyan, meron tayo sa may Mandaluyong, yung National Mental Health in Mandaluyong City. O, aside from Mandaluyong, ilang probinsya pa ba sa Pilipinas ang meron mga mental health facilities? Di ba? And add to the problem, do we have an adequate mental health personnel or people who will take good care of these people who are suffering from mental health illnesses? Actually, meron lang tayo 700 daw na registered psychiatrists sa Pilipinas and 1,000 nurses who will take good care of these mental health patients. See? So kulang na kulang. Diba? And this time of pandemic, most of the news that we are hearing over the radio and television focuses on the COVID response, di ba? Hindi natin pinag-uusapan yung mental health side. Kasi yes, alam natin na talaga ang gobyerno, halos lahat ng resources, di ba? Binibigay niya intended for the COVID victims, di ba? Okay naman yon. There's no question about it. But then, wag natin kalimutan, syempre, yung psychosocial of these people. When you say psychosocial, di ba, kamusta naman yung puso, yung kanilang state of mind? Are they still okay? Last time yung mga tao na mga locally stranded people, di ba? Kamusta naman yung psychosocial ng mga locally stranded people na to? Na nagstay dyan sa may Rizal stadium before they were allowed to go back to their provinces. Diba? Nagkaroon ba ng psychosocial briefing sa mga taong yan? Kasi sa panahon ngayon, napakalakas ng stress, no? And number one stress natin is due to this pandemic. Because of this of socioeconomic problem that we are experiencing, diba? The loss of jobs, diba? Source of livelihood, you have lost your businesses, you are not able to go back to school. So nakita natin yung socioeconomic problem. And the question is, ano bang tulong ang ginagawa sa atin, 'di ba, ng gobyerno to help us in terms of our psychosocial needs, 'di ba? So now overwhelmed tayo masyado sa pandemic, no, and the effect of the pandemic. Pero let us not forget na maraming tao ngayon na nangangailangan din ng tulong because they are suffering now they're suffering right now sa mental health illnesses or disorder or issues, diba? Let us not forget na the psychosocial of a person is very important, most especially for those people who are directly affected by COVID-19. Diba? Hindi lang sila may sakit, no? Yung mga pamilya nila are actually suffering from sadness, for grief, diba? For what we call anxieties brought by this pandemic. That's why kailangan nila ng psychosocial, kailangan nila ng tulong, di ba? So, yan. So, wag natin kalimutan ang mental health. It is a reality that our country is facing right now. Di ba? Kasi alam mo itong pandemic na to, maraming problema to eh. Konektado yan eh. Sanga-sanga yung problema yan eh. At isa sa mga dapat natin pagkuunan ng pansin is the mental health state of people, of Filipinos nowadays. O yan. So, kailangan natin, we need more psychiatrists, we need more psychologists. Kaya nga dun sa napakaganda ng batas na to, yung mental health law na yan. Kasi sinasabi dyan na you can be a guidance, you can be a mental health advocate actually. Pwede ka maging volunteer. Diba? Yung mga nagkaroon ng training about counseling, you can actually help. Oh. Diba kahit na minsan wala kang training sa counseling, makinig ka lang sa problema ng isang tao, you are also actually helping the person. More than a person that gives advice. Diba? O yan. So yan yung mga realities ng life, diba, in our present time that we should actually pay attention. Okay? And of course, before I end my discussion, all right, thank you very much. So these are the sources of the informations. I am flashing it right now. Okay? And as we can see, no, na talagang because of this pandemic, no, it gives us so many challenges. No? Pero despite of that challenges, isa lang naman yung question dyan. And the question is, how can you actually accept or how can you withstand to those challenges? Diba? And let us not forget that as a Catholic nation, diba, we never lose our stronghold, our faith to God. That is actually the solution. That is actually the key. Yan ang maganda sa mga Pilipino, sa isang bansang Katoliko. No matter how life difficult, nakikita mo, no, nakakangiti pa rin mga Pilipinos. Pero kung kukompare natin sa ibang mga bansa, iba, no? They have different ways on handling difficulties in life. Pero for Filipinos like us, diba, we tend to smile despite of this pandemic. We manage to smile. And of course, we never lose our faith to God. And that is very important. That is very important. That is why etong pandemic na to, napakadami realizations, no. Lalo na sa mga tao na nawalan ng trabaho. Napakahirap kasi if you have lost your job because of this pandemic, napakahirap yung how can you integrate again yourself to the society? Kasi 'di ba, in sociological perspective, okay, when we talk about structural functionalism, 'di ba, all of us are interconnected. For this society to function as one, we are doing different things, different roles and duties. Pero, the problem is, paano kung ang isang role mo ay hindi mo na pwedeng gawin? Diba? For example, sa akin, as a teacher, diba? Yung role mo na dating pagtuturo mo sa face-to-face, pero ngayon, restricted na because of this pandemic. So, nagkaroon ng disruptions in the fulfillment of our roles. Diba? And that particular disruptions, no, na nangyari sa atin, it really affects the entire society. Diba? So makikita natin napakataas ngayon na unemployment rate as compared to the previous years. But they're saying that our economy is still strong as compared to the other economies in Asia. And our currency is still strong as compared to other currencies in Asia. They're still claiming it. So there is now a disruption of the roles and duties of workers, of people in the society. And you know, friends, something that bothers me towards me. Ang hirap kasi to go back, no? Kung nagkaroon ng disruption, you have lost your job, tapos after ng pandemic, babalik ka, ang hirap uli yung integration, no? 'Di ba? Ang hirap nung babalik ka uli. Ano na bang magiging next na trabaho mo? So how will you integrate yourself to the society again, once again? That is difficult, my friends, 'di ba? That is why maraming tao ngayon nagkakaroon ng low self-esteem, na babawasan yung tiwala sa sarili nila kasi hindi na nila magawa yung dati nilang ginagawa. Diba? Because of this pandemic. So, nalimitahan yung kilos ng tao. And at the same time, diba, yung resources mo is also limited. Okay? Kaya, ganun yung mga yung mga pakiramdam, no? You are limited to do something. Pero, okay, kung magtitiwala ka lang, the good side is, di ba, this is an opportunity for us to discover what else that we can do. Alright? So we're talking about the adaptability. So we have to learn how to adapt, how to become adaptive, di ba? That is one of the requirements, no, in the condition of social life. In sociology, you have to be adaptive. So you have to be creative enough in order to discover your innate talents and strengths. Napakadaming tao na because of this pandemic, they were able to discover kung ano pa yung mga kalakasan nila. At hindi lang iniisip na mga nagagawa pala nila. Diba? Ako nga, yung vlogging na to, no? Who would thought na nakakapag-vlog ako ngayon. Pero before, I'm not doing this vlogging. Kaya subscribe kayo, ha? I-share nyo itong video na to and don't be shy, ha? I-click nyo lang yung like button at saka yung subscribe button at saka yung notification bell. And please, ha? I-share nyo itong video na to para mas marami tayong matutulungan. Diba? Kaya my friends, okay, I hope that you have learned lots of things for this discussion, okay? And, all right, kanina, I would like to read, ayan, si Sir Dexter, Rala, hi sir, hello din po, ayan, God bless po and stay safe. So, for those who watch this, the whole session for today, thank you very much. Pagpalain kayo ng Diyos. And don't forget, no? I always repeat this and reiterate this to my student and to all the sessions that I'm doing dito sa YouTube. Tandaan natin, ha? No matter how life is difficult nowadays, let us hold on to God. Because according to Saint Teresa of Avila, solo Dios basta. God alone is enough. Okay? Kaya my friends, thank you for tuning in and I'll see you next week on another round of My Opinion Matters. So ingat po kayong lahat. Thank you and goodbye.